1560, Lord Nobunaga Oda fell to a fatal arrow, which pierced his throat. However, Nobunaga was far from finished. With the help of the demons, he rose from the dead.
Yasuke! Who did this? For whom are you working? I won't forgive you. Prepare yourself!
The one responsible for burning down Yagu village is Nobunaga Oda. Use this power to defeat Nobunaga.
My name is Oyu. I'm from Odani.
I dream of becoming a feudal lord.
Wouldn't it be great to live in a time of peace?
You see? I will never be defeated.
My name is Gogandantis, the greatest swordsman of all demons. Anga!
Just a little human.
So, the cockroach is still alive.
I'll show you what nasty means.
It is the Yagyu clan's mission to stop the demons when they rise up to the surface.
If this is my destiny, I'll accept it. I'll be this Oni warrior, and I will destroy the demons! You will pay for this, Nobunaga!
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, maybe good evening, depending where you are in the world. Welcome to Swords at Dawn. Anyway, Swords at Dawn. Let me give it some emphasis. This is a little show put together, delving into the wonderful, mystical world of Onimusha that I said Capcom have finally brought it back over. Is it 20 years? People have been asking for it. Don't worry, we listened. And now we are delivering. Of course, this year, on Friday actually, 23rd, you can get Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny, the remaster. And next year, we've got Where This All coming, which looks amazing. Anyway, welcome. How you all doing? I'm here, but I'm not here alone. This shows I've got a few friends, some of my community members, community family helping me out. Adriana, Maria, how are you guys doing?
Hello, how are you?
Pretty
Thanks
good.
for having us.
Wicked. So how are you loving Onimusha? Come on, tell me about it.
I am actually so excited, not only for this remaster, but for next year. I'm so curious to see how it lands. I'm so curious to see how it impacts the community and the audience. Because in the end, as you were saying, we've been waiting a lot of years for this. And I think the audience is very different from what it was when the original one's released. So let's see how they receive it.
Adriana, what are you saying?
I'll tell you that much. I'm not the biggest fan of Onimusha myself. I am more of a tactical, slow player, but I'm very excited to work on this title, especially because it's a blast from the past. I want to warn everybody, I have a very thick Italian accent, so sorry for that, for sure, but you probably have guessed by now from my handle, Italian Merlot. Very excited. We have two more guests, actually, who are the experts in this field, experts of Onimusha. I got some fun facts, some fun tidbits, but I'll leave it up to you, Richard.
Oh mate, listen, if you know me, I'm just the fighting game guy, but I know about this series, and obviously a certain very famous French actor, was in the third game back in the day. Said this game's always been around. I hear people call it Resident Evil with swords, you know. But anyway, we've got two amazing guests, gurus, masters of the game, master of the art, DevilNeverCry, and Mr. BowieTheHero. How are you guys doing today?
Yeah, well, I'm good. I don't want to speak for you. Yeah, glad to be here.
I'm really happy to. I'm a massive fan of this game. If you know me, then you know why. If you don't, I'm a speedrunner of Onimusha 1. I played all the other series as well, but I have a big love of this series and have played it since it came out, and have been waiting for a new one. So that when Way of the Sword last year was announced, I was I'll say elated. Is the easiest way to put it. I've been bouncing ever since. That
makes sense.
Yeah. And then to finally have the HD remaster for 2 after the very, very good one as well is very exciting. So pleased to be here.
I've not got the same sort of experience as you, so I initially played a little bit of Dawn of Dreams back in the day, but I rediscovered Onimusha with the remaster of the first game, and then sort of, as you've said, patiently waiting and hoping that they'd continue on with the series and the remasters, and here we have 2. And then obviously, Way of the Sword. My God, I can't wait.
Oh man, it's gonna be
crazy.
It's gonna be so good.
Of course. Good indeed. Way of the Sword. We're happy to have number 2 back. But come on now, Way of the Sword. Even got my interest, gentlemen. It has, Can't wait. So it's a fun day. It's a fun time for Onimusha fans, of course. And if you don't know too much about the game, we've got a little video that will explain it to you that we can play right now.
What is Onimusha? Smooth and satisfying swordplay, thrilling battles with hideous demons, a deep story set in the Sengoku period of feudal Japan, Sengoku survival action, an introduction to Onimusha, Onimusha Warlords, released in 2001. The hero of the story is Samanosuke Akechi, a young and fearsome warrior living in the Sengoku period of Japan. He becomes an Onimusha after receiving a gauntlet from the Oni clan, which was destroyed by the demons. The character was modeled after and voiced by a famous actor, who also served as a guest creator on the game, resulting in a revolutionary development style that garnered a lot of attention, selling 2 million units worldwide. The year is 1560. The story starts in Mino province. Having heard about several cases of people going missing, Samanosuke Akechi hurries to Inabayama Castle, where Princess Yuki awaits. After Princess Yuki gets abducted as well, Samanosuke meets the Oni clan, kicking off his arduous battle with the demons. Samanosuke's partner in his fight is Kaede, a female ninja from Iga. She is playable in some sequences as well. Guildenstern, a high-class demon, revives the feudal ruler Nobunaga Oda to lead an army of various demons he has created in a bid to take over the world. Samanosuke will have to face these demons to achieve his goal. As Samanosuke fights his way through the hordes of demons and progresses through Inabayama Castle, he gradually starts finding out what the demons are after. Will he be able to save Princess Yuki and put a stop to the demons' monstrous plans? The story of the battle with the demons continues in Onimusha 2. Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny. Jubei Yagyu is the hero of Onimusha 2 and the first head of the Yagyu clan. An improvement over the first game in every way. A deeper story, deeper gameplay systems, more equipment, and more items. Onimusha 2 is the fan-favorite game of the series. Onimusha 2 is a story about a new Onimusha, so it can be enjoyed even if you haven't experienced the first game. However, playing the first game will give you a better understanding of the story between the Oni clan and the demons, so we recommend you try it out. Onimusha 2 takes place 13 years after the first game, in 1573. Nobunaga Oda has formed a pact with the demons and has become their king. He continues his relentless attacks to conquer the country. Yagyu village was attacked and the villagers were massacred by demon soldiers. Amidst his sadness and despair, Jubei awakens to his Oni clan powers and becomes an Onimusha. Oyu, Kotaro, Eke, Magoichi. Together with this colorful cast of allies, Jubei sets out on a journey to defeat Nobunaga, the king of the demons. Each era has its own Onimusha who fights to etch his name in the annals of history.
Well, there you have it. You know, now I know a little bit more. You know what I mean? So, guys, you know, Devil, Bowie, you know so much about this game. Can you, elaborate on that stuff we just saw?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, sure. I can sort of elaborate on what we saw. So, I mean, like, Onimusha is, it's a historical sort of action horror-ish game, I guess you could say. Fixed camera angles. Initially tank controls. With the remaster, obviously we've got a brand new control scheme alongside a whole new suite of sort of quality of life additions. But yeah, I mean, without saying too much about 2, you're basically out on a quest for vengeance, and you meet a colourful cast of characters along the way. And just like demons, plenty of demons, or Oni as they're known in the game.
So the I guess the thing is, like, again, as the series goes on, it kind of expands upon that a lot more. The first game is kind of a little bit more restricted in how it's like it's just Samanosuke and Kaede, and it's just those two in one night of trying to use the power of the Onis of the ogres to defeat defeat the baddies, save the princess. But obviously in Onimusha 2 there's a wider cast, there's a bigger scope to the world and what's going on and like the time that passes. Nobunaga just seems unkillable. Guildenstern, resurrected him and infused him with demon power, so of course is big thing. But in history he's known as like the Demon King. He was a very, very powerful warrior, and so to kind of see that extrapolated within these fantasy kind of like realms is really, really fun.
It's cool to see as well that each of the as you said, like the expanded cast, they all are basically there for their own sort of reasons that sort of tie into the wider story overall, which is pretty cool to see.
I think one thing I really loved about it that was kind of brought up as like a final point was that, or before, I'm not sure if we have to crack on, but they were saying that in terms of the development of it, it was a big deal to have Takeshi Kaneshiro was the famous Japanese actor that they mentioned, who is the face and voice of Samanosuke Akechi in the Japanese dub. Obviously, it was dubbed in English as well. But that was a big thing to have these kind of very human-like models. It was a big advancement, and obviously later on, I think Rich, you mentioned it, that a French actor was involved in Onimusha 3. Demon Siege, and which was Jean Reno, which was like really, really cool to see that.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but also with Jubei as well, he's also based on a real life actor, right? His likeness.
I honestly don't know who it is, but I think you're right. I just can't remember who it was.
It's actually Yusaku Matsuda. So basically, it's the same situation as Kaneshiro, a big star. Unfortunately, for Onimusha 2, the actor was already dead for about 12 years. But the estate basically gave the rights to recreate his image in game, and so you see this difference between, of course, the Eastern market and the Western, where a lot of the marketing and the hype behind this is having this cool collected character that basically becomes the face, the protagonist. And for Kaneshiro especially, bringing and going back to Onimusha 1, the fun fact that he was a gamer. Like in many interviews, he was a pop star, then he became an actor, and in between sets, he always said in interviews that he loved to game, loved to play. And so there's this particular thing where he gave feedback during the production of the game, because he was very in the deeps with it. And so, of course, thanks to the massive marketing potential and possibilities granted by Kaneshiro, Capcom knew already that the game would be so successful. And interestingly, Onimusha 1 and 2 were developing at the same time, which is unheard of, at the time, but was the first time as well.
That's cool.
I think they made a good shout. I think it's a fantastic game. I mean, I think obviously I think Richie mentioned earlier that it's sometimes called Resident Evil with swords, and you can kind of see that lineage and that DNA.
Yeah.
The static backgrounds, the tank control movement. I'm a big fan of that, by the way. It logically makes sense, so I'm all about it. But it's rather than like a survival horror, it felt more action horror.
Yeah.
Resources were very sparse and very restricted. You had to be much more careful with how you approach situations, but it did it in a much more action way.
Yeah.
And it kind of changed action for me, and it also changed the kind of like the horror side of it as well. It was quite, for me as a young player, quite revolutionary to like how I felt about being in those situations and how I responded and why I loved it so much, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, and to touch on that as well, like with the resource management, it always felt like with some of the older like RE titles, like I mean, once you're out of ammo, you got the knife and that's about it. Whereas here, it's kind of like you can rely on your own skill to kind of get you through, basically, if you put yourself in a tricky situation. Which at the time I found, as you said, sort of revolutionary, pretty cool.
You know what, Maria, how is the Spanish community with the whole franchise? Sorry, we leave you down there by yourself. What's Spain saying about Onimusha?
I mean, as I was saying, it's been a lot of years since we had like the original Onimusha titles. Of course, we had a lot of pieces of media from this story, but right now the audience changed a lot because it's not only the nostalgic. Because of course, I've been seeing a lot of the nostalgic players who, of course, love to have the Onimusha series back. But right now, as I was saying, I'm very curious to see the new audience. That, of course, right now it's very widespread. Love for the Japanese mythology and folklore, and right now figures like the Oni are very known by this new audience. So I'm very, very eager to see the reaction from that audience that's coming brand new to the franchise with both this remaster and the upcoming brand new game next year.
I found interesting is when we released Konotsugami, people automatically assumed, wait, is it? But that was a great game for us all. Onimusha is back, but we have an interview with the director himself, everyone. So sit back and enjoy this.
はい、皆さんこんにちは。オリジナル版オニムシャ2ディレクターの石野元裕です。いよいよリマスター版オニムシャ2発売になります。より美しく、より遊びやすくなったオニムシャ2が皆さんにお届けできることをとても嬉しく思います。どうぞお付き合いください。はい。オニムシャ2を、作るにあたって、その前作のオニムシャの世界からより広げたいなというふうに、考えたときに、主人公だけじゃなくて複数のキャラクターを登場させたいなと思いました。で、その複数のキャラクターにそれぞれドラマチックなストーリーを持たした形にしたかったんですけど、それだけだと面白くないので、そのキャラクターたちに、プレイヤーが何かこう、アクションというか、物を渡したことで、そのキャラクターたちのリアクション、その人間っぽいリアクションをプレイヤーがこう見たときに、それぞれのキャラクターの好みみたいなのを想像して、で、それに対して、何か物をプレイにくれるみたいな、そういう生きた人間に対する攻略みたいなものをシステムとして入れると、より面白いんじゃないかな。でそれによってシナリオが分岐したりとか、そのキャラクター自身を操作できるみたいなことになると、よりこのオニムシャ2の世界が広がるんじゃないかなと思って実装しました。はい、オニムシャ2のキャラクターなんですけども、キャラクターデザインをするときに、よりこちらも前作のオニムシャよりもっとその個性的な形のキャラクターにしたいなという中で、そのシナリオの作っている冬村昇先生と相談している中でも雨宮啓太さんという方を紹介いただいて、この方すごく有名なキャラクターデザイナーの方なんですけども、その雨宮啓太さんにすごくその陽とその和をうまくミックスしたようなたくさんのキャラクターデザインをしていただき、もう本当に現場もすごく魅力的なものをたくさんデザインしてもらいました。で、その中でも特に、個人的に気に入っているのはゴーガンダンテスなんですけど、そのゴーガンダンテス自体は初期段階のデザインのすごくかっこいいデザインで、これかっこいいので、ボスキャラクターにしたいなというところで、進めていく中で、そのキャラクター見た感じすごくかっこいいのに、 その杉村先生はそこでこのキャラクターにもっと色というか、すごいキャラクター性を持たせてもらって、で、かっこいいのにちょっとこうおかしな、身のこなしい喋り方をするっていうキャラクターにしてくれたおかげで、結果的にすごく、めちゃくちゃ強いのに、で、ちょっと立ち振る舞いはちょっと面白いみたいな、すごく魅力的なキャラクターになったんじゃないかなと思って、後半ですが一番、思い入れがあります。鬼武者2自体、相当ボリューミーなゲームデザインというか、ゲームシナリオも含めてあるんですけど、基本的にそのゲーム内容とか、シナリオとか、僕が持ってる形のものは、かなり開発チームにも無理を言って、で、すごい頑張ってやってくれたので、何かその、入れ残すとか、なんか思い残すことっていうのは、ゲームのシステム的な遊びとかでは全くなくて、開発チームには本当に感謝しかないんですけど、一つあるとすれば、シナリオの段階では、5人目のキャラクターでイチョウというキャラクターがいたんですけど、このキャラクター、現場と人間のハーフという設定のちょっと面白いキャラクターで、デザインとシナリオしかないんですけど、ちょっとどうしてもスケジュールの都合で、カットせざるを得なかったので、これが実装できなかったのが、ちょっと、心残りというか、まさにあることではあります。はい。鬼武者2の開発がスタートした当時なんですけど、これカプコンでも初めての試みだと思うんですけど、まだその鬼武者の1作目が開発中で発売される前から、鬼武者2の開発がスタートするということで、当然鬼武者のいいところ、1作目にいいところは受け継ぎつつ、全く新しい世界観の鬼武者を作ろうということで、その、明智様之助ではなくて新しい主人公を立てた、別というか、新しい世界の鬼武者を作りたくて、主人公を変えたという経緯があります。はい。これはですね、ありまして、一つは、ゲームプレイ進めていくと、今城の町という、金山のある町に、進んでいくんですけども、その町の一番奥に行くと、馬小屋があるんですよね。で、その馬小屋にいる馬があるんですけど、その馬を調べることができて、立派な体型の馬だなっていうメッセージが出るだけなんですけど、この馬を何度も調べていくと、ちょっとずつ大きくなっていってて、最終的には元の大きさの 1.2 倍ぐらいの大きさになるっていう、ちょっといたずらを仕込んでますと。で、これは本当に画像を並べてみると、本当わからない程度でちょっと大きくなるので、最終的には大きくなるっていうのは確認できると思うので、これぜひ見てもらいたいっていうのと、もう一つありまして、これは、ゲーム結構進んだ中盤以降に、鬼ヶ島というところの地下に通路、海底通路みたいなところがあって、海底なんで、ガラス張りで海の中に魚とか、サメが泳いでるところが出てくるんですけど、そのサメの前で魂をちょっと吸収すると、体力回復の魂をすっとそのサメから吸えることができるっていうのも、ほとんどレーザーには知られていない隠し要素になります。はい、リマスター版鬼武者2、2025年5月23日に発売となります。シリーズファンの方はもちろんなんですけども、今回初めて鬼武者シリーズプレイされる方にも楽しんでやっていただけるようなゲームになってますので、ぜひよろしくお願いします。吉野元でした。
And we have to thank Ishura-san for those words. He's been interviewed a few times recently, so we had to spice it up. And most of the questions came from man himself. He's up there. DevilNeverCry. He just got in there, got them nitty-gritty questions to ask him, innit? Come on, bruv.
Yeah, I mean, I just tried to think of like what would I want to know as an Onimusha fan, and some cool answers there.
I think especially the one you asked about, was there any content from the original that got cut? Because obviously this is the thing, right? A lot of games that come out, wonderful games, but things get left on the cutting room floor. It always happens, you know. You can't make everything that you want to make. So to hear that there was actually another character that was going to be half human, half demon, that would have been cool to see. But, that's how it goes.
All right, cool. Well,
one interesting part from the hidden things and the question that you asked, Devil, was, for example, the horse Easter egg. So I was it's interesting because we talked about off stream. So is it officially debunked? Did we know about this stuff prior to the interview?
I think.
Yeah, so I mean,
you were saying, right?
it wasn't. I don't think it was ever a thing. I didn't know about it beforehand.
Neither did I.
I think it's one of those things where I was like, I don't think I know this, but when I found out, I was like, is this something that we know? And then I got linked to like a forum where someone was like, had said, is this happening? It wasn't ever like said, this is definitely happening, but like, am I going crazy or is this happening? But no, that was like one random post that was like from a forum like years ago. Yeah, I don't think anyone knew about it, but I think it. Yeah, I think it had been assumed, but never actually figured out.
I think if I had seen it back in the day, I probably would have thought my mind was like playing tricks on me.
Yeah, because apparently it's only 1.2 times the size. So it's not that big a difference anyway.
Yeah.
You'd have to take a picture of the first time you see it, and then chat to it like a billion times, and then take another picture, which is not happening.
No. Wouldn't have had
And something
patience.
that's worth saying, because director Eshiro-san was mentioning that the second game was it took the core values from the first one and it added very interesting mechanics like the social aspect that we see in Onimusha 2. But I think a lot of people are hesitating to start with the Onimusha series in Onimusha 2. Because they don't know if they'll miss stuff because they didn't play Onimusha 1. So I think it's worth mentioning and reminding people that Onimusha 2 is okay to play as a first Onimusha. The main character is completely different from Onimusha 1. And of course we recommend you play Onimusha 1 too to know more about the lore and story. But Onimusha 2 is perfectly fine to play as your first Onimusha game. Guys, with what Onimusha did you start playing?
1.
I started a little bit with Dawn of Dreams, but I didn't finish 1 all the way until the remaster of 1.
Right, sure, that's fair. You
Get
also,
him.
Yeah. Forget him. No, it's they all bring something different, and like the games have evolved, and I wouldn't say like the soul of the series is always there, no matter which one you play, but the depth of gameplay and the kind of the scope of them has increased, and Dawn of Dreams is much more action heavy with skills that you can equip and all this kind of stuff that you can kind of do to kind of allow yourself to succeed, and there's so many more weapons and different like upgrade paths, whereas the first one's a bit more conservative. You got like in the first game it's 3 weapons, 3 elements, you can level them up, and then in 2 you've got I think it's 5 weapons, and then you can also upgrade your armor as well, so
quite iterative, and it was cool to see like starting with 1 and then going on to 2, like just how they sort of built upon those systems, and sort of seeing where they inevitably end up getting to.
The speed increase from 1 to 2 is, and then it's obviously it gets faster even as you go along, but the 1 to 2 speed change was even now I'm just kind of I'm very used to playing the first game. I say I speedrun the first game. I'm learning the second one, but it's nuts hard. Like it's nuts. It is so difficult, but and it's all because of the speed of it.
Right.
It's really really cool, and I think if you prefer your faster paced games, 2 is going to really like sit into that very very well.
Yeah, it leans a little bit more, I guess you could say, into the action side, while still retaining the horror. I think one of my favorite things about the series is like just the attention to detail on some of those pre-rendered backgrounds and just how grotesque they are and how they build an atmosphere of horror and tension.
Yeah, and this game, I think what's kind of nice about this game, it does actually utilize some of the locations. Your Gifu Castle is the location in only 1, but you kind of go to it again and you kind of see how the last 13 years have changed it as well, and how much the demon presence has kind of happened, and some of them really haunting and really disgusting and kind of gross in a good way, because it's meant to kind of do that. But then there are some that are just stunning, like beautiful scenes that just really really well, because obviously static backgrounds are static, but they do have the odd animated moment, and it's beautiful.
That just sets it all off together nicely.
Love it a lot.
All right, cool. Now you guys, you can definitely talk the talk, but can you walk that walk?
Oh no,
we're not going to talk for the whole hour, you guys. These gentlemen are going to play the game because they're the ones to do it. We're going to take a quick break, sit up the games console, and come back with some more Swords at Dawn. See you in a few minutes. I don't think I spoke about it. Are you loving my hat? Check it out. Bucket hat business. What? Unfortunately, there's not many of these, so I'm one of the privileged ones. But we're going in hard on Onimusha 2, so make sure you get it on the 23rd of the month on your favourite gaming system. That's next Friday if you didn't remember. So there you go, that was my little public service announcement. But you know what, we need some gameplay. We've spoken enough. Time for games.
Obviously we want to show you gameplay, so you can enjoy the story.
You can. There you go.
But yeah, so you get that unlocked straight away, which is very, very
A new warrior, Jubei Yagyu.
To play it all again if you played it before.
Yeah.
But we start off in Yagyu village, where everything's been destroyed, and Jubei's just come back from an excursion and finds everything kind of not good.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah. And yeah, he's basically going to try and find out what's going on. But we'll kind of showcase to you the basics of the gameplay, how you move, how you operate, and all that kind of stuff, and show off if we can, if the lag between this TV and our controller's not too bad, we can some Issens.
Criticals,
Yeah, because there's a variety of types of Isen. In the original game you have, so Isen's a critical hit, right? It's a one-shot move that just destroys stuff. And if you basically attack at the last possible moment, you will one-shot the enemy, or like regular enemies. There are three kinds. There's a regular, just press attack at the last minute. That's a regular Isen or critical hit. Then you've got a deflect or a hijiki Isen, which is when you dodge at the perfect time to push your opponent back, and then you attack to crit. And then you've also got what's called chain Isening, which is the big thing in Onimusha 2. When you get an Isen, with the right timing, you can continue your Isen chain to any remaining enemy or boss, if they're still alive after the first hit, which they probably will be, to continue a chain of Isens.
Yeah.
And different weapons have different timings to continue the chain. For those of you who know, there's a spear called I think it's called Hyojin Yari. That is the same timing as the Buraito or the regular katana, like the regular sword. Then there's another weapon called the Senpo Maru, which has a different timing. But yeah, you can attack normally as well, of course. Yeah. You can strike things down. You can do finishes on like downed enemies. And if an enemy decides to attack,
there you go.
Got the double hit there.
I wasn't actually 100% sure if you could do it with just his standard katana, or if you had to wait until.
Yeah, you can. Yeah. Come on, buddy.
Oh, that's how you know my.
It's okay. No, there's no one watching.
Another one. There's not like there's a whole crowd of people. I think he knows he's building the tension here.
Yeah, just body him. Sometimes the enemies don't attack. This is the beginning of the game, so they're going to be quite kind. But so we were saying that there was originally tank controls in this game. So obviously you'd turn with left and right, and you'd run forward and back with up and down.
Yep.
But obviously with the HD remaster, modern controls allowing you to use the control stick as well, so you can run freely without having to worry about up being forward, which could have you running towards the camera. So yeah, it's a nice little thing for newer players.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like tank controls, if you're not used to them, there's a nice steep learning curve to them. But I think once you're there, you know.
Yeah. For me, it's like a logic thing where I just kind of think of I'm running forward rather than moving up, and it's kind of that thing is always a thing. Go for a finisher, lovely. Yeah. So the red guys do have a slightly different timing on their attacks for the Isens as well, and that's a big thing. Like every enemy will have their own unique moveset, own unique Isen timing. Nice.
Got the double.
Oh, got the double.
Couldn't get that one though. Right.
So yeah, obviously red chests and things to pick up and items to find. A nice little village map. I think that's
map.
Yeah, it's R3 to open that up, so you can see where things are.
Where we are going.
Hello.
Hello. Oh.
It's up to you.
I'm happy with either.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. We have flashing red HP here, Devil.
I know. I don't know if it's the lag on this TV or what, but it's doing me in. But
that's all right. We can just do regular combat for a bit because like we haven't yet kind of unlocked the ability, which is like the big thing in this game, right?
Yeah, we should probably actually get to that instead of just fumbling around with these. Yeah,
because with the lower HP you have, the more you can absorb. So with the thing with Onimusha is there is a kind of pseudo RPG system to it in experience, which is whenever you defeat enemies, they will release souls, and you can absorb those souls. Red souls are experience, blue souls are magic, and yellow souls are HP. Then Onimusha 2 added in a new purple soul.
Yes.
Well, technically it was... Wait, did Genma come out? No, Genma was later. Genma was later. They added in purple souls, which allows you to transform into an Oni, which is the big like hype moment at the end of the first game where Samanosuke actually turns into an Oni. You can't control that Oni, but he does transform into it. You can now transform into this. Yeah, frogs. We'll kind of explain that in a little bit later on when we get to the village, because the frog is a part of another system, which is very, very fun. Here we go.
Spooky cave. And this, I mean, we'll see what that does in a second.
Yeah, I wonder what that is.
Peculiar. Can we examine that just yet?
No. Oh.
Okay.
Cool. Let's crack on then. So a mysterious red light. Obviously, as I already spoiled for you, the red light. we know what red means.
Perhaps.
Yeah. But yeah, the lovely voice of Jubei.
It haunts me. It haunts me, that voice.
Yeah. It's everyone will just recognize it immediately. But
stuff from Nightmares.
Jubei. It's lovely. It's so of its time, you know. It's very silly. But I think we were discussing with Merlo and Maria earlier. You were saying that like the Japanese text actually played quite straight, where it's actually very kind of like theatrical and quite over the top in the English dub, which I think is kind of fun. Which kind of reminds me a little bit, I guess, of like the theatrical side of it, which kind of
ties in a bit with the sort of historical aspect.
Yeah, like the performance of the whole aesthetic, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
This is kind of like... This sets you up basically for the rest of the game for the most part, right?
Yeah, this is like the main kind of crux of the whole thing is, that the demons destroyed Yagyu village and Nobunaga Oda is the leader of the demons right now.
Yeah.
Go and defeat him. It gives you basically everything you need to know.
And so Samanosuke in the first game had the Oni gauntlet, right?
Yeah.
And we've got this seal on our hand.
His left hand.
Yeah. And that's basically gonna,
5 sacred orbs were created to protect humans.
I like it sometimes, because I like a story-based game. I play RPGs for the most part, but I like it when a game doesn't fuss too much with its narrative element, and we'll just go, this is what you need to do, crack on and do it, because we play games, right? That's a big part of it.
We start with the one orb, the charity orb.
And the play instructions, just in case you don't know.
Yeah. That will teach you basically all the controls and everything you need. But yeah, they're quite straightforward and intuitive. We've got a red chest over here, so we can't ignore that.
Some herbs.
And herbs, yeah. But as you were saying, like the pre-rendered backgrounds with just a little bit of movement in them to set them up in that mysterious sort of aura there.
Yeah, it's really,
you were gushing about the backgrounds beforehand, and that leads me to the next question. So, what's your favorite part about Onimusha 2 specifically? Is it the skill expression? Is it the render backgrounds? Is it the mechanics, the companions? Is there anything that spikes your interest?
I mean, I think skill expression is a big thing. Like it feels good to execute Isens and to kind of learn the enemy timings. There's a blue orb there. We don't need any magic just yet, but. So, yellow orbs. We do need some health, so that's good. Nice. Okay.
And,
but yeah, I think skill expression is a big thing for me. I like that a lot. But I do also just like, as you were saying, like the overall mechanics, the kind of the way they all operate together, and they kind of just come together to make a very, very fun experience. Come on, bud.
DevilNeverCry, what's your focus instead?
That's a good question. I feel like the combat is like a big draw for me. The fact that there is like a skill aspect to it.
Oh, that was Hajiki.
But I'm also just a sucker for like the atmosphere, whether it's like the pre-rendered backgrounds, the music, like the grotesqueness in some of the enemy design as well. Ooh,
nice
little launch.
What's mine, Bowie? Thanks for asking. So.
Oh no, we were finishing the thought. And been enjoying the game. Now I'm going to sound like. What's yours, Adriano?
I really like actually what you said about.
I wanted to have a little go for it.
Very similar to Resident Evil, as you said, survivability and managing the resources, etc. I like the way that we have fixed cameras, so it's way more dramatic. By just, having a different camera, the visual storytelling is more important. Yeah, it's confusing in some, instances because it wants to spook you, or in some other times, it's very zoomed in because, it accentuates the action. So I really like the direction of the game. I'm not a skill-based player, so I can't talk about skill expression, I just do the basic combo, but...
No, but even with that, you can really enjoy the game. Like, I feel like it's a very intuitive game. Like, if you want to stay in a more casual level, you can perfectly enjoy it. Because it's not only the action. I think it's a bit different from the first one in this. It's not only the action, but the characters, the gifts and social interactions you can make. It's a very enjoyable game, even if you're not a very skilled player, I would say, as you were mentioning, Adriano.
Yeah, I think it is nice to be able to do good things. Like this game is like easily winnable. I say easily. It's winnable, however you want to approach it. Like I think, and the weapon variety also allows that. Because like I like using certain weapons, yes, but then there are other weapons that are really cool that I'm not as good at. Like if you like the big, heavier, chunkier moves, then you want to. By the way, this is not the way to go. I'm just running around because I fancy it.
I was surprised you could actually go this way this early.
Yeah. When I kind of like played this game for the first time in a long time, I forgot that you had to go and get Burrito. Yeah. So I just kind of was here for like an hour, being like, why can't I continue? Just like
it happened the same to me.
And just, oh come on, lads.
And you got an abacus out of it. Who likes math between the companions?
I got very lost. Like I was like, let's not advance from this house. It happened to me too, but that's the magic of it. Like you have to navigate around, and if you miss some interaction, or you have to explore again. And I would say, as you would say, it's very easy to enjoy, but hard to master.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay, so we also have these lovely puzzle boxes. This is why I want to come back here. You have these kind of fun little things that you can kind of do to get upgrades, so you can have more HP and more MP if you kind of...
Power jewel.
That's the one, yeah. Why am I not turning around? Where's the button to turn around in this? There it is. It's L3, not R3.
Quick. Yeah.
These red guys are really annoying.
They can become a problem real quick.
They have a very like separate timing to all of the blue soldiers in terms of like ascend timing and all that kind of stuff. So I think it's a little bit later for them, which makes it a bit trickier. So after this, we're gonna continue.
No, it's fine. Yeah, we'll go grab the Burrito, and that will introduce us into like a different kind of attack, right? Or the MP system.
Yeah, the MP system, yeah. And I think this is a big thing that when I'm looking forward to Way of the Sword, I'm really excited about, because I'm really hoping that we have the idea of weapon variety that has a unique element and a unique spell that does certain things that will, because every single enemy that you kind of come across will have different, gimmicks and different ideas for the way that you approach the fight. And elements and the way that the magic works will usually do something similar, or in terms of like it'll affect different things. So for example, using Onimusha 1 as a good example, you've got a lightning strike, which is the same one here actually, a linear fire attack, and then an AoE high-reaching aerial attack.
Yeah.
And the wind, and that's the wind attack. So Shippu, the wind magic, or Arashi, the wind magic, you use that to knock enemies in the air, and it brings them down because it's wind-based. It disrupts their flight and brings them down. And that kind of like nuance within the magic system was really, really cool. Yeah. And the same thing is true here, where Burrito is a very kind of like I guess brutish kind of like combat. You just get in there, you just go ham.
Yeah.
Whereas like the linear aspect of the spear is all about range. It's a range weapon. You stay at range, so you do long ranging attacks and all that kind of stuff. So
each of the weapons have got their own sort of specific use. What I like as well, particularly as you mentioned with the wind. There's certain almost environmental puzzles, potentially you could call them, that you need to use like the special attack to sort of to move forward, which I thought was a nice touch.
Yeah.
And here we have the village.
Yeah, this is Immersive Village, where this is going to be your hub for a bunch of it. Yeah, every time you go and do a certain thing, you might come back here to kind of continue.
Reconvene, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously it's kind of changed. It's right now it's trying to tell you the story of like the difference in era. Like this is like the discovery of gold in a nearby mine. And you know, it's 13 years, you know, since the last game, and all the changes that, you know, therein that happen. And it also kind of introduces us to a bunch of characters, and this is where the relationship system comes in.
Yeah, the affinity system, which took me by surprise, coming like off of like the first game. But I thought it was a nice touch, particularly with how it alters, I guess you could say, or has branching paths, particularly within the narrative. Which I thought was quite cool.
Yeah,
like, it made it so that it felt like your decisions mattered.
Yeah, and what's really nice actually as well is that when you complete the game, you actually see the different variants of that where you can go.
Yeah.
Because like different characters, well, you can have certain characters at certain points in the game, yes, but also you can go through a certain bit with a different character, and so you can have like all 4 of the different characters can appear at certain times.
Yeah.
And essentially there are loads of cutscenes that you'll see and catch, or cutscenes that will change depending on how much relationship you have with a certain thing. I think the big one is OU. As like her character and her relationship with Jubei and how that develops. The intensity and the differences that happen towards the end of the game in the mandatory like story elements will change depending on how close you actually are with her.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really nice little thing.
It's a nice touch, yeah. Particularly with one of the cutscenes near the end as well, which changes in a big way.
Which we're not going to talk about.
We're not going to say nothing. No. And this is the general store, and you know, you initially might go here and think, oh, like they'll have herbs or they'll have like whatever, but like if you don't know about the affinity system, a lot of this might seem just like tap. But yeah, this directly ties into sort of like things that you can give away. Any recommendations of what else we should spend our gold on here?
I like history books.
You like history books?
Yeah,
okay.
So different characters have different interests, of course, and so you want to give them interesting stuff. What I can say is you can use it also to the disadvantage of the characters in a way, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So as a speedrunner and doing speedruns in this game, what can you do to speed the game up? Well, actually, you can probably give the characters the items they don't like to lower your relationship with them so they don't show up in places.
Yeah.
And so you don't have to kind of you don't get cutscenes with them, or maybe they won't assist you in battle because you don't need to utilize them if you're playing in a certain way, right? And so yeah, you can make good decisions, you can make bad decisions. So you want to learn about them to kind of know how best to treat them. yeah. So your knowledge, you can use your knowledge to sort of manipulate the game to sort of like go the way you want it to. This is I guess this is optional, right? You don't technically have to go and do this, but I thought it was pretty cool. I'm just going to clear out these boxes, these barrels even. Nice. I mean, I guess you could consider it a little environmental puzzle, but it's definitely worth doing. And it kind of ties into the exploration aspect of the game. Like you always want to be searching every nook and cranny. Yeah, I just love the way it animates those kind of like static moments like that. And, the machines and the cogs turning. Yeah. So the reason that Devil decided to break all the boxes, if you don't, you have to kind of attack them on the way through, and you may miss. Exactly. That's why.
That's why. Yeah. Perfect instance. Well, we got a chest here at least for our troubles. And cloth.
Someone must love that.
Somebody must love cloth. Yeah.
I'm a big cloth fan.
But yeah, clearly I missed a barrel, so we're going to go and try that one again.
One thing that I think is really nice about this game is also its sound design, and not just, I don't mean the soundtrack, I mean the overall kind of like the sounds and the actual audio. One thing that is, I think was really well pronounced actually in this game versus the first one, you can hear it in the first one, but it's really strong, is the it's like footsteps and how the terrain you're running on changes. And specifically in Onimusha Village, because you have that change of like you're walking on the gravel onto the bridge, and then you hear it go from to like boom 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 over the wood, and it's so clear. It's lovely.
Yeah.
And it's those little details that really sort of set it off, right?
That's no problem.
And just add to the overall experience.
They cannot hear me, right?
I'll pass you the pad actually. Yeah, you go for it.
No, there's no
maybe it's worth
issue.
showing
Like,
off the quick swap as
if
well,
you want
potentially.
me around, I can stay for a bit more.
You need to get the spear first. So.
Okay, yeah.
I mean,
If
I'm going to try and speed this up a little bit so
like
I can show you
20
a bit
minutes
more. So
that's
there's some lads here. I'm going to going to ignore him just because they're going to
There's
get in
no
the
issue.
way.
I can stick around.
So the beginning of the game is
for
making our way through the
continuity,
mines.
if
Obviously,
we all
we found
started,
out about
I'll
gold.
stick around till the end.
Do you have a permit?
So now we have to go back, right?
Yeah.
And these guys,
they're doing amazing.
They're
doing a great job. I mean,
even if you do take them out, there's copious amounts of them that just keep appearing, right?
This was a big difference between like the first one and the second one as well, because the first one had like I mean this is the thing, this is like a generic area, so that screen will have enemies that always appear if you need to kind of like just grind up stuff,
Yeah.
So Maguchi and Eke introduced to 2 more characters,
yep.
Who are very, very fun, but I'll let you explore them a little bit later. Giving items. So yeah, this is how you do things. You kind of run up to them and give them an item. And if they don't like it, like Eke doesn't like frogs,
which we just picked up,
he'll say he doesn't like it. Oh, well, he likes that one. Okay. I thought you didn't like frogs. He gives a hearty laugh, slapping his knee, and they get a scarf. Oh, that's why. No, yeah, you do. I'm wondering, I was trying to think about why we give him the frog. It's because so you get the scarf, yeah. There should be a pipe here. Yeah, he doesn't like the pipe, though. But Magoichi likes the pipe. Anyway, we need them. We should actually do the game and get the mountain permit.
Mountain permit, yeah.
There we go. Yeah, so you give Magoichi the pipe and he'll like it. If you give the pipe to Eke, he doesn't like the pipe. He doesn't like smoking. But yeah. There we go.
Not a pipe connoisseur, shall we say?
No.
Perchance. But now we've got the mountain permit, we're going to head directly for the mine, where, more demonic chaos ensues, shall we say?
Yes. Yeah, we get a few new enemies as well, which is also why I want to get there. If we can get to the first boss, I might have to just kind of sprint it.
Yeah.
If that's okay.
If we can, yeah.
You can go in.
Okay, cheers, mate.
He's happy with the permit.
Is that I can't remember if this is a thing or not. It's
a history book, yeah.
No, never mind.
So, Jubei can read as he slays.
Yeah. One-handed, he's got a book in hand, learning about the history of the world, and the other hand...
Just throwing quotes out as he's slaying.
Yeah. I'm going to quickly save just in case, because you never know. It might go bad.
You never know, right? Yeah.
You never know.
And that's, I mean, that little save spot also showcases the enhance feature, which we've not touched on yet, but whenever you defeat enemies, bosses, you basically acquire the red orbs, souls, which you can then use to enhance. Oh, wow, here they are.
Oh, I almost had that. I could have been goated, but instead I was just mediocre at best.
These guys give me the heebie-jeebies, man.
If you do like absorb, they kind of go angry and then they do their attack.
Nice.
There we go. There we go. Lovely. So these are the new orbs. They're very slow to get in, but if you get 5, if you look on the top left of the HUD, you'll see there's like 2 purple orbs and there's 3 empty ones. Yeah, if you fill that gauge up, you transform into an Oni and you just murder things.
Rinse people. Yeah, I say people, rinse demons. But is he gonna fall for the bait? Close.
I apparently fell for the bait there as well.
Yeah.
Come on, lads. Do. Oh, you know what? I'm going to show off some magic.
There we go. Yeah. That's very much the writer's got a magic attack that's very much sort of focused on a singular enemy. But some of the other weapons you find will have ones that are like more area attack based.
Yeah, and even though it is single target, the strikes, if an enemy is near you, the strikes do obviously show up.
Carry over.
Yeah, you'll clip enemies basically. Okay, so here we go. We need to do this bit, and then Eke's going to help us because Magoichi's too bored.
He's just sitting up there watching.
The timing is a bit tricky. So these enemies, you need to kind of like get them to do their little stab, and then they'll. There we go.
Nice.
I didn't get the follow-up though. Follow-up. So different weapons have different follow-up animations. You need to kind of like learn each individual weapon's timing to like know what part of the animation is enough for you to continue. The reason we're going here is we're going to get our first, or at least another weapon, which will be the Hyojin Yari, which is a spear, as we said, and it has an ice spell. And
pretty cool.
Yeah, it is. It can freeze enemies and then you can break them in one hit, so that's kind of cool. There are certain enemies I will not Isen.
No.
Because the timing is, as I say, it's nuts.
It's just too tight. Yeah. I think one of the things that's worth mentioning as well with the Isen or the critical system is that the reward for the risk is that you get an increased amount of resources from it. which is kind of why, like, if you're low on health, for example, it might be counterintuitive to take that risk, but as a reward, you'll get like a lot of like health.
And the way that like experience works as well is if you absorb 1 soul, you get 10. But if you absorb like 2, you'll get 20 for the 2 of them, then you get a bonus, right? And so the idea is that there's a multiplicative bonus based on how many souls you get. So if you ascend like 2 demons and they drop 4 souls rather than 1 each, you're getting 8, which they also include increasing the size of the multiplier even more. So you'll end up with like 400 souls rather than 160 or whatever, or 80.
And so that's encouragement to basically slay as many as you can before you start absorbing.
Yeah. So this can only be destroyed by the
spear.
By the spear, yeah. So that's why you need to go and get that first. I'm going to try and fight Gingham Fats, our first boss, and hopefully I'll be able to get. I want to do the speedrun community proud and get at least a 3-chain Isen. You need to do 11 to defeat a boss, or 10 plus a few extra hits. Yeah.
We'll see. Fingers crossed for you.
I'm so scared. Because like the boss timings are just awful. Like, when I say awful, I mean it's really hard. Like it genuinely, and it's good. It's good that it's hard, I think, because like it is a powerful ability. It one-shots everything apart from bosses, right? It's such a powerful option. So it should be a reward for being good. So it should, only one does have the easiest Isen timing, or the more straightforward one. I'd say Dawn of Dreams has a different slowdown. In that one, you kind of go and you wait, and then you go. So it's a little bit more.
Well, this is the first, I guess, skill check of the game. Perhaps.
Yeah. Hopefully, I might need to use some magic to get through him if I find that I'm just getting bodied, which might happen.
Yeah.
But you can technically get the first one here if you get lucky enough. But no, come on. Oh, come on. You gonna do a big one here? Okay, it's okay.
Close.
It's okay. Don't panic. Oh man, I'm panicking.
Just need a reset.
It's okay. I mean, he is bodying me a little bit, so I'm going to use a bit of magic just to make sure that I can.
Nice.
There you go. Eke shows up if you take too many hits. But
so that we did that on purpose, just to get Eke to show up.
Yeah. So he can help me now. I just need to. There's certain moves that are easier to Isen as well because their timings are a little bit less ambiguous. Health. That's
nice. That's what we need.
Here we go. This is hard.
Close.
I'm not ready, Eke. I'm not ready. Can I have some health, please?
Just nothing but experience they've given you.
Okay. Now I'm using R1 to lock onto the enemy as well. This is like an easy way to kind of stay locked on with the character to the enemy.
To follow them wherever they go.
Yeah. Come on, buddy. Oh, I had it again, but I didn't get the follow-up.
Close.
I'm actually gonna just change weapon here.
You got some herbs if you need them.
Oh yeah, I do. You're right.
Yeah, you got a couple of herbs. Yeah, you got 3 herbs, and a power jewel too.
I should have used that. But yeah, I mean, I'm trying to. My speedrunner's pride won't let me heal. Stop it. Just play the game. There's some health.
There you go. Yeah, and
it's so tricky.
One question for both time. So basically, when you play and do speedrun, is there a particular weapon you want to go for?
Is like the hardest. I've never been able to get that one.
Giant pickaxe.
Man, yeah, it's hard. This when he goes into this phase, I just please stop it. See, this is the thing with the Isen, right? When you kind of get a lot of them, you can like skip horrible phases. There's a fight in particular where a boss like just disappears for ages.
Right, yeah.
And you need to kind of stop him from doing that. Come on, bud. Stop jumping, please. You'll hear that a lot if you learn to speedrun this game.
Oh, there we go.
3! Come on the go! It feels so good, man.
It shouldn't have too much more in him.
No, yeah. I mean, I've done, I think, a total of 6 Isen so far.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there we go. Down.
Yeah. That was
light work, yeah.
I
got the 3. I only wanted the 3. The world record holder for them, the only two, I want to shout him out because he's amazing, Yorishiro. There's two runners, Yorishiro and Hinge, and they are like my inspirations. They're amazing. They actually started running the game after me, or running only one after me, but they just changed the game, and they were amazing. But Yorishiro's world record run of this game, he starts that fight, and he does 11 back-to-back SNs, and just goes, done fight, over.
How many seconds are we talking?
Like 7.
Like 7,
yeah. 7 seconds for the fight. But yeah, there's the first boss. I'm glad I got a few SNs in because I was so scared. But
no, good job, man. That's it's not hard. It's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy. No. But so obviously we don't want to show you too much more to kind of give away too much of the game. We want you to experience it for yourself. But we obviously talk to this chap and continue. But what?
Can we? What happens if we go forward? I'm pretty sure this is a dead end, right?
Maybe. Let's have a look.
Let's have a look. Yeah, I'm almost certain. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it is. It's a puzzle box potentially.
Puzzle boxes are the there it is. Okay, here we go. Let's see the puzzle skills.
Oh no!
You got this.
This is. You say I've got this, but okay.
I believe in you. You got 4 moves.
Is it 1? No.
Oh
no.
Okay. Well, that's okay. You got this.
So I'm pretty sure this holds an extra move for one of our weapons as well, potentially, which is why it's always worth doing these. Let's have a think here. What could we potentially be doing? I feel like that's definitely not it. I feel like that's just worse than the first attempt.
I feel that's definitely not it. Sums up some of these puzzles for me.
We'll
you just know it's not right.
I'm sure people in chat are probably screaming right now. Just
don't look at me, man. We can't help you.
I have it.
Yeah. Which one? You wanna give it?
Do you want help?
No, I've just seen it. But do you want me to do it?
Yeah, you go for it.
I got it.
Yeah. I gave two attempts and. Oh no! Oh, okay.
This is the best part.
Okay.
There you go.
Wonderful.
Just saw it. But yeah, the Hyojin Yari secret. So yeah. Do you want to explain that or show it off?
So let's. Let's do the quick swap actually.
Yeah.
So if I'm not mistaken, it's whenever you're locked on, you're able to do, and once you find specifically one of the secrets for each of the weapons, is it a back to forward input that you're basically able to do, and it throws out an additional move?
Yeah, that 1, 2, 3. It's like a whole move by itself. Yeah, they're faster than a normal 1, 2, 3 as well. So.
Yeah. So it's always worth exploring, not just for like herbs or like items for affinity. You also get things that you can use that are tangible in gameplay as well, which is cool. And then we have to go and talk to this chap who's languishing over here. But,
languishing. He's getting bodied. He's just got destroyed. No, he's just chilling. No, but I think the secrets were a really, really nice thing.
Yeah.
Because especially if you think about the Boraito as a weapon, because it's parallel in only one is Raiden.
Yes, I believe so.
But it's got a different. Yeah, Raiden's the magic. The weapon is called something else.
Is it the Raido? No,
Raiden's the magic. Because they have a sword name and then there's a magic name. And I can't for the life of me the name's just gone.
Yeah.
But they have the whole 1, 2, 3, 4 is a very simple mechanic, and it's like the basic attack for Samanosuke and for Jubei. But then, say if you're used to that, having the secret for Boraito bring in this whole thing where you get like these cool spin attacks with the charging.
Yeah.
The level charging as well, which I think is R2 hold, I think
so, yeah.
Yeah. So much more to it, but it'd be nice to watch a little bit of the cutscene to kind of see.
Yeah,
this is like early mocap, I guess, isn't it? Really, not done with actual mocap, but the facial recognition definitely was a thing.
Yeah, which is quite cool. Like hand animated, right? Yeah. And this kind of, we now have to effectively go back to where we were, right?
Yeah, you do. Yeah. Please. Couldn't he have just given that to us?
I know.
Well, we had to feed him first.
Yeah, we had to feed him. He had to watch us do the puzzle for a little bit, and then he's like, okay, here, have the magic donut.
It's a huge donut.
It is, yeah. Strawberry flavored.
But no, I think there's something I think the color grading in this game as well is really, really nice. Like there's this, it's so vibrant, but yeah, there's this kind of subtlety to. I wouldn't say it's muted in any way. It is vibrant coloring, but it's very, very earthy, very grounded color, which kind of keeps it subtle. But yet it's very, very clear, and I think it's always been quite pretty in that regard.
Yeah, and then it's cool because it creates a clear distinction for the demon world effectively, because those colors are in that palette is entirely different to sort of like some of the earthier tones that you're talking about here.
Yeah.
Which is cool. It just helps things feel a little bit more surreal and odd when you start coming across all the bad things, basically.
Yeah. There is a chap up here as well, isn't there? Is he hanging out here?
Are we talking about Mr. Taro?
Is he outside or is he inside? I think he might be having a snack indoors.
Potentially. What have we got over here though? Folding fan.
Is he not? Yeah, he might be here unless he's changed. Oh no, he is.
Oh no, he is here. Yeah, I thought it was outside of the balcony for some reason, but that's.
I think he is if you go earlier.
Okay.
It's weird. Yeah, so characters change where they are based on where in the story you are. But yeah, he's one of the other characters as well, so you have a chance to meet them all.
And I think he's one of the. Well, I say he's one of the only ones. He's got an interesting. Is it history or like, not history, feelings towards OU.
I honestly can't remember off the top of my head now.
Well, you'll have to find. We won't spoil.
It's been a while since I played the game in its entirety. Like I followed all the different branches and pathways, so it's going to be fun to do that again.
To do that, yeah.
Because like this is the thing, right? When you get into speedrunning, you kind of just focus on just going fast. We do it because we love games and we play them enough that we want to play them again in a different way. But then every now and then you would go, you know what? Let me just reconnect to the game itself, and then get back into it. You know.
I admit she's pretty, but do not get deeply involved.
I mean, that kind of just tells you.
There you go. Oh yeah, I do remember.
I'll expose her true identity.
I think I'm not sure how we're doing for time, so we probably want to let's showcase the enhanced menu, I guess, and then probably leave it.
And then call it. Yeah, sure. Cool. Have we got? We should have enough XP to enhance something.
Not the weapons, I don't think.
No.
So in this game, they combined weapons and magic into one thing. So you combine them both at the same time, which means it requires more souls. In only one, you could level the sword and the magic separately.
Yeah.
But here, it's just built in. But you can also upgrade the armor, and I love this because the armor, obviously, it's your defense. I think this should be able to upgrade. Or is it 7?
Might be 7. Yeah.
That's 5. It's 8.
Yeah.
It's 8.
Okay.
Sorry. No, it's a waste of souls.
It's all right. It's no problem. I was going to say, did you want to explain what each of these different sort of... Because obviously, like, when you enhance them, they do different things. I mean, armor's defense, and obviously it physically changes its appearance, which is cool.
That's what I really like, yeah.
But what about the gauntlets and greaves?
I'll tell you what, off the top of my head, I thought they were just defense as well, but they might change something else.
Okay.
I thought they were just defense, unless you know something I don't.
No.
Which you probably might.
Potentially, I don't know. I mean, like, maybe it's hearsay on the forum. Sort of. I think they change speed, potentially?
Maybe
speed of something.
Maybe there's a speed increase for, like, walking... But that would make me think that you'd want to go for it. I thought they were all just defense, personally.
Yeah.
They're like different, like they were all small upgrades that became big when by the time you upgrade them to level 3, to level max.
Could be.
But yeah, the thing for me is like it's a visual thing because in the original game you just found armor, which is just armor upgrades.
Yeah.
From the red to the gold to the gold and red. But there's a little, Jubei's got his own style here, so it's a bit different. Yeah, I thought I was under the. I mean, if you come out actually, and go back into it, go back into the menu, it might say. It says you don't have any souls.
Don't have any souls left now.
Oh, actually, there might be a way to check. Let's just go to the start menu, not the. Sorry, the system menu.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Quickly quit, and then just load up because I made a save file earlier.
Okay.
Because it might say something. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I'll make it quick. Sorry. We'll wrap it up after this. I'm just curious about something now because now you've got me thinking, and now it's making me worry.
Could just be me just talking. Yeah.
This save file because I've got a few souls absorbed here. I'm not going to do the boss fight again. I'm not that not that self-indulgent. It should say, doesn't it? Yeah, I could have sworn it said like. Oh no, it's just saying now enhancing. I was wondering if it was like going to say do this today because like again magic intensity and strength from the weapon. That's the thing for here, and I could have sworn it was just defense for all 3 of them. But if there is speed as well, check.
I'll double check.
We'll Google it whilst we finish, but we'll definitely call it there in terms of gameplay. Yeah. So we'll wrap it up there. But we hope you enjoyed this little snippet. We're both having a little bit of a play there and showing off a bit of fun. But there you go.
Wicked, guys. Wicked. That was great. That was much better than I would do. So thank you guys for showing off the game. And there you go, Onimusha 2, Samurai's Destiny, modern console version, remastered. Get it on the 23rd of May, which I believe is, someone help me out, it is next Friday. So
is it next Friday?
I believe it is.
It is next Friday.
Yeah. See, I needed the room to react to me, so it's all good. We've got some slides regarding every Onimusha, So as mentioned, available for pre-order right now. PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Steam. So next one. Oh, yes, of course. Together we get Warlords and Samurai's Destiny. A bonus for having Onimusha Warlords save data. Get Jubei other outfit. Can someone say that name in the middle? I am not great with long words like that.
Yeah, for the people who knows Onimusha 1, main character is Samanotuke, so you get their his outfit for Onimusha 2 for Jubei.
That is wicked.
Well, I guess we can confirm that as well.
Good, it's interesting.
You get number 1 and number 2 pack available next Friday. And this one, hands in the air. We've got to cut to this. Look, director, cut to it. Go on, hands in the air.
It's coming.
It's coming.
It's back.
Hands in the air. You guys excited for this one?
Oh, you have no idea. Hands down. I don't. As a person who has in the past created content, there's always that whole idea of reaction content and making it really big and then. But I was genuinely no way. I was so excited. Just real quick, we did kind of have a pseudo confirmation on there because this is the thing in Oni 1 as well. When you upgrade the gauntlet, you have a faster absorb speed.
Mm-hmm.
The gauntlets increase your absorb speed, and the greaves allow you to kick heavier monsters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That makes sense. And the armor is just straight defense. Anyway, we clarified that. Let's go back to the program that has been built for us by the wonderful team at Capcom.
It's so great that Merlo has disappeared into the ether.
I'm still here.
We can't see you. We got to see
I'm here.
You're
He's
there.
a present. We don't see him. We hear him.
But that's the power of the internet, ladies and gentlemen. The most bizarre things happen. I think that's a wrap. That was a little dive into Onimusha. It's back for a new generation. Everybody, please rush out and get it. It's awesome. Thank you to everybody that has taken part today. DevilNeverCry, BowieTheHero, this guy, Rich Dragon, Maria, and Invisible Man Merlo.
That's me.
That's you. I think that is it, guys. We'll see you on the next stream. Take care.
Take care.